You didn't quit your dreams. You adjusted them. You made them smaller, safer, more realistic. At least that's what you told yourself. You didn't lose ambition. You replaced it with comfort. Not dramatic comfort, not laziness, just enough. Enough income to survive, enough progress to feel responsible, enough routine to avoid chaos, and enough slowly became the ceiling. No one noticed, not your friends, not your family, not even you, because comfort doesn't feel dangerous, it feels earned. At first, comfort feels like peace. You worked hard, you struggled before, you deserve stability, so you build a routine. Wake up, same time, same coffee, same commute, same conversations, same evenings. Nothing is wrong, but nothing is stretching you either. And stretching is where growth lives. Without it, you don't collapse. You just plateau. And plateau feels safe. The problem with comfort is that it numbs slowly. You stop taking risks. Not because you're afraid, because you're settled. You stop asking bigger questions. You stop challenging your own limits. You stop imagining something larger. Because what you have is fine. But fine is maintenance. Fine is repetition. Fine is standing still without realizing it. And standing still long enough becomes identity. Look closely at your week. How much of it is automatic? You wake up and your body moves without thinking. You go to work. You complete tasks. You scroll. You watch. You rest. You repeat. There is no crisis, no disaster, no dramatic fall. Just a slow drift into predictability. And predictability is comfortable, but it can quietly shrink your future. Comfort convinces you that disruption is the enemy. It whispers, why take the risk? Why start over? Why push harder? You're doing okay. And that whisper feels reasonable, logical, responsible. But growth has never been built on reasonable comfort. It's built on tension, resistance, challenge. The moments where you feel slightly unprepared, slightly unsure, slightly stretched. Comfort kept you stable, but stability is not the same as progress. You can be stable and stagnant at the same time, safe and small at the same time, responsible and restricted at the same time. The trap is subtle. That's why most people never notice it. They think they're fine, until fine becomes regret. This isn't about pressure. It's about expansion. It's about refusing to let good enough define your future. It's about choosing growth even when comfort argues against it. You don't need to escape your life. You need to outgrow your comfort. And growth begins the moment you choose friction over familiarity. Not recklessly, not dramatically, deliberately. Tonight, notice your patterns. Notice where you default to ease. Notice where you avoid stretch. And tomorrow, interrupt it. One small disruption, one intentional push, one uncomfortable decision. That's how ceilings break. Not loudly, but consistently. Comfort is not evil, but it is limiting. And you were built for expansion. The trap was never failure. It was ease. Now that you see it, you can choose differently. Before you scroll, pause for a second. You don't need to blow up your life. You don't need a dramatic reset. You need one uncomfortable decision, one small disruption, one moment where you choose growth over ease. Comfort isn't evil, but it will quietly build a ceiling over your potential. And ceilings don't break by accident. They break by decision. So here's your question. Where have you been choosing comfort over expansion? Be honest, not publicly, internally. And if this message felt like it was speaking directly to you, comment. No more autopilot. That's not for the algorithm. That's for awareness. Subscribe if you're serious about growth, not hype. Because this channel isn't about motivation spikes. It's about identity shifts. Next episode, we go deeper. Discipline versus comfort. And why most people lose the battle silently. I'll see you there.